On this episode of Pimp My Setup, we're going to be talking about your setups you submitted for tips, tricks, feedback, and much more. So if you're interested in that, then sit back, relax, and interact because the show starts
now, boys and girls.
It's time for the original setup show dedicated to providing you with tips, tricks, and feedback to pimp out your setup. Hosted by Matt Philly with new special guests every week. Coming at you live in 3, 2, 1.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Pimp My Setup, episode number 30, recorded live on March 26, 2015. My name is Matt Philly, and you can check me out on Twitter at MadPhilly.
My name is Alex, and you can check me out on Twitter at Msg Gaming. You probably already knew that, but yeah, let's do this thing.
Yeah, boom. And quickly, before we get into it, if you guys want to get text alerts when I go live, go on over to your phone if you're in U.S. and parts of Canada. I don't know what parts, though, so don't ask me. You can tweet, you can text the keyword live to 94033, and you'll get text alerts and fun stuff like that. And that's thanks to our friends at txtsignal.com, promo code PIMP, 10 extra days added on to your trial. And also setupaddicts.com. There's over 1,500 members on that Facebook group now posting their setups and stuff like that. So make sure you go over there and join and have a good time and stuff like that. So before we get into setups, how you doing, Alex?
I'm gonna say I'm pretty fantastic right now.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely loving this. This is great. People have wanted me to do this for a long time. I've wanted to be on the show for a long time. We finally got around to doing it, and I think people are really digging it, Matt. I really do. I think people are doing it. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. Thanks. See, normally my co-hosts don't ask how I'm doing, so I appreciate that.
It's all right, man. It's all right. You know?
So a lot of people will probably want to know what your setup looks like. For those of you that don't know who Alex is, which is pretty weird considering you're up there. You have a huge fan base. It's crazy. But if you guys don't know anything about Alex or you haven't seen his latest video, his new house tour, I want to quickly explain some of the things that you're doing and where they can find that video and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. So if you don't know me, I am a YouTuber who lives in England or United Kingdom, and I make like gaming videos, entertainment videos, videos like comedy stuff, videos. I like to give guys a lot of tips about to make your guys like lives better. I like to have an impact on people's lives, and I like to make sure everyone's like sort of okay, and I like to just make sure everyone's grounded and everyone's having a good time here on Earth. So I like to create entertaining content to entertain you guys. I like to give you guys tips and tricks on how to improve your guys' lives and obviously your setup, including this live stream. You can check out my YouTube. It's Marsbar, MARZBAR, and you can check me out on Twitter at Marsbar Gaming. The Twitter link, I believe, is in the description of the live stream, isn't it?
Yep.
And so if you guys go over to my Twitter, you can throw me a follow on Twitter, which would be absolutely awesome. I'm really social on there, so you guys can talk to me over on Twitter after the live stream, and that will be awesome to talk one-on-one with you guys. And you can also click on my YouTube link. It's on my Twitter bio, so you can subscribe to my YouTube channel and be updated for all the videos I do. But I've got a setup video on there, which has got, I've got a few setup videos, actually, all accumulating to like over a few million views, which is absolutely outstanding. They were the videos that sort of kicked off my YouTube channel as a whole. They're where my audience came from, so a lot of them are interested in setups. So I'm hoping there's a lot of you here. Big shout out to my audience if they're here.
Yeah.
And on the weekend, so 3 or 4 days ago now, I uploaded a house tour. Now I'm currently in the position of moving house. We've just bought a new house, me and my family, and I'm taking it slow because I want my setup to be absolutely like on par. I want it to be cheeky, of course. you want it to be cheeky, but I want it to be good. We've got a server room going on there, and I'm going to be giving you guys regular updates over on my YouTube channel. And different things like that. And I've also got a vlog channel and a technology channel dedicated to technology, and you can find those on my main YouTube channel. You guys know how YouTube works. You look in the description of one of my videos, and all my social stuff is there. So yeah, that's me.
Boom.
That's me.
There you go. The more you know.
The more you know. Yeah.
So with that said, we're gonna hop into setups. I know a lot of you guys are excited because
let's take a look at these setups.
Yeah, it's fun looking at people's setups. But I want to make a quick disclaimer on this episode. There are some setups that aren't the best. especially the pictures, they're not the best. So that's one of the big changes that are coming. That's coming up with Pimp My Setup. I'm actually going to be getting really strict with that, and we're going to change things up. So here we go. First setup is submitted by Charlie, and Charlie. Okay, this is funny because you could write whatever. You could write, "Hey, I'm X amount of years old, and I'm from this country." Blah blah blah. But Charlie just wrote, "This is pretty ghetto," and that's all he wrote. That's literally all he wrote.
Keeping it plain and simple. I like it.
Yeah, a good thing he didn't use cheeky. He just decided to use ghetto.
Ghetto, right?
Yeah. So
he's from the hood. That's I'm down with that.
So taking a look at it, what are your initial thoughts?
Initial thoughts would be, the thing is with this setup, I don't really know. I can't really tell what's he going for. Is he a productivity guy? Does he work on sort of Word documents and he likes to have a little bit of entertainment, watching YouTube? I think the whole setup's being powered by the laptop that's on the left-hand side. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
So obviously he's not going to be playing any major game titles off the laptop, as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
Unless it's some sort of beastie laptop. I mean, this is going back to what you were talking about. People need to get their photos a little bit more detailed, maybe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I don't really know where he's going with this setup. One thing I would say, the first thing I would say, first looking at this setup, if I walked into that room now, I'd say, dude, your desk is messy. That's messy for me. That.
Yeah. Well,
I think.
I don't even think that it's messy. I just think it's way too small for what he's trying to do.
Well, the thing is, he's got that amount of space, and he's got to make do with the space that he has.
Exactly.
He can't go out. Obviously, he could go out and buy a new desk, but maybe he's limited to space in the room that he's in.
Funds,
exactly. So what I would say to him would be a little blue table off to the side with a lamp on it. Move some of those headphones. Get those little coiled up headphones out of the way, and the little bobby pin and the wallet. Put that in a drawer. Put that in the drawer that's below it, and then move. That looks like a little iPhone dock next to the monitor. Under the monitor, the little white thing.
Yeah.
Looks like a phone dock. Move that onto the blue little desk next to the light. And then just by eliminating that bit of space there underneath the monitor, it will make the desk look a lot more simple, and it will make it look bigger.
Yeah.
And then obviously, I think is that a stylus there next to just above the keyboard? Looks like a stylus for a.
I can't really tell. It's not really the highest quality photo.
It's either a stylus or an electric cigarette. But I'm gonna go with stylus just to keep things clean here. But yeah, obviously put that in a drawer. You can get it out when you need it. Just make the setup a lot more simple. I mean, I'm not sure if that TV above the setup is connected to his laptop, but that thing looks huge.
Oh yeah, ginormous. It takes up more than the desk. It's the desk and the drawer all in
exactly,
one,
exactly. So I'm assuming he might just be watching TV on that. But I think what he needs to do is I honestly don't know. It depends what he's going for. I mean, I love the way he's got the laptop set off to the side. So the thing is with me, I do a lot of work outside of the home. I go to a lot of clients' houses when I'm doing promotional videos for them, and with that I've got a MacBook here, so I take that with me to show clients work and things like that. Maybe this kid's at school and he does all his assignments on his laptop. So the major plus with this setup is he's got his sort of main home computer. He's using his laptop for his main home computer. So all of his work documents, let's say school homework or whatever he's doing, it's all in one location. It's all on that laptop. So as soon as he wants to leave the house, he can close his laptop lid, unconnect everything, and take it off his pretty little stand, and he's good to go. He's got everything with him, and it's now a portable package. So I think he's really, I think that's a really good. I think he's got something good going from there. If he likes, if he leaves the house a lot, do you get what I mean?
Yeah. I really, really like the setup. I definitely agree. The laptop is awesome because, like you said, portability. He could have the awesome, in-house sort of setup,
big screen, a home computer.
And then when he has to go, he's like, all right, cool, just unplug, run away, boom, you have everything you need.
Take his charger with him, and he's good. He's good as gold.
Yeah, and that's really all you need. I mean, I would agree that the right side is just insanely messy, and that's what's going to kill most of your setup because that being cluttered ruins the main part of the setup.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I think if you were to get really, I mean, the desk is nice, but for what you're trying to do, it's too small. So if you looked at just getting, honestly, at IKEA, just the tabletop that's big enough for that space, putting it right there, and that's it, you would have more than enough space. You've
got more real estate to work with on the top of the desk and spread your stuff out. You can have as much stuff as you want there, but it can be tidy because you've got more space.
Yeah, and you could even put that little drawer thing underneath the tabletop. So You could still keep that for your storage, but you would just have a brand new tabletop that's a lot longer, which is
exactly. That tabletop was black as well. It would look as if the monitor was in the middle of the desk, so it'd look a lot more symmetrical.
Yeah, that
one thing that's bugging me with that is the monitor is not symmetrical, but I know obviously the desk layout is so you've got a drawer and you've got a single chair to put under, and you want your monitor in that position. But in my eyes, I'm all about it being symmetrical. So if you got if you got rid of that blue thing and you put it under where the chair's meant to go.
Yeah.
So you've still got that drawer space if you want it, and then you could get another black tabletop that's the same height as your table at the moment, as you said from IKEA, Matt.
Yeah.
And then everything would look central. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. And for me, like, my main problem with this setup has to be, like, I don't know, the chair just looks like a cheap knockoff of like an actual racing chair, like DX Racer, GT Omega, something. Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I'm sitting in a Need for Seat one. I like that. I think that the walls, the color of the walls is also weird, but you kind of keep that color going in with whatever's on top of that storage bin. But and if you really want to get crazy, you could get wire molds for the TV so that you could paint it the same color as the wall, so you could hide those wires.
Yes,
do something
cable
like
trunking would be quite nice for that. And then you could, as you said, paint it like blue or you know what I mean, and
Yeah.
have that a little bit more concealed. I mean, he's got cable ties around it, so he's going a little bit of the way. He's going.
He's 50%. Yeah, he's 50% there, almost there. But yeah, so overall, I think that the setup it's nice. It just needs a lot of big changes to take it to the next level. And with that said, let's move on to the next setup, because this one I want to see what you had to say about it. This is submitted by Shane, and Shane is 15 years old, and he said he's just an average user, nothing too crazy. Whoa, words are hard. Nothing too crazy. He said he does a lot of media consumption, gaming, music, social networking, stuff like that. And if you guys want to read what he wrote, you can go to pimpmysetup.com/Q and read that. But taking a look, Alex, what do you think?
First off, as I mentioned in the last setup, I like symmetrical, and his desk is very symmetrical. So
Yes.
the thing is, I'm going to a little bit of background here about me, but obviously I studied media in college, and they teach you about photography. And the human eye is attracted to anything that's symmetrical. So you will instantly, if something's symmetrical on the desk, you will like it more. Like, trust me, it's just how your eyes work. So that being symmetrical, you've got your two monitors planted dead in the middle, your two satellite speakers. It looks like he's got a 2.1 system there, with his sub over to the left-hand side under the table. Everything's symmetrical. It looks good. I'm loving the keyboard and mouse choices. A little bit snazzy with the LEDs behind the back. But what's going on with that massive wire under that white wire? What's that? What's that doing?
And it's weird because, like, literally, I mean, without even spending money, you could just get Scotch tape and just tape it to the bottom of the desk. Like,
I'm assuming it's going to a plug socket, and then that one plug socket is then powering the whole setup.
Probably.
But he could go up, and then, you get what I mean? He could go up to behind the monitors, across, and then down to the computer. Like, it'd be such a simple thing to do. It's such a good symmetrical setup. It's just ruined by that massive wire that goes right into the middle.
But okay, so if you think that's a problem, what do you think about the wires coming out of the monitors?
Wires coming out of the monitors are, again, an issue. Now, it looks bad on the photo because it looks like he's used a flash or an external light that's off to the side, which would be even worse, because if it was an external light, then it's there all the time. But you've got these free floating wires, right, behind the monitor, and then that light is casting another shadow onto the wall of those wires. So it's like twice as bad. So, dude, right, you've got the monitor stand, right? Most monitors come with they look like Asus monitors. I've got 3 Asus monitors right here, and they've got cable management built into them, so you can actually connect your cables to the back of the monitor, to the stand or the neck of the monitor, if you like, and they'll be tidied away behind there. Or if not, just get a cable tie and zip them to the neck of the monitor, and it just makes it look so much more simple. It makes it look breathable. Do you know what I mean? You look under your monitors and there's no cable mess.
Yeah, it looks like magic. Like, it's
exactly.
Just
It's the thing is that people don't understand is, if you want to go for a good setup, I'd say quite a high percentage. I'm probably over exaggerating here, but I'd say 60% of having a nice setup is cable management.
That's so true. So true.
Cable management. That's the biggest tip I'd give anyone. If someone says a setup into me and then it's not, I can see a cable, I'm like, cable management, sort it out. Just, you know what I mean? It's so simple to do. It's free as well. It's free.
It really is.
You don't have to buy another. Say if someone sends a setup in, they've got one monitor, and I'm like, oh, you'd probably improve your production if you had 2 monitors, because you could have your social media open, your workflow. Just improves workflow having more than one monitor. And obviously that costs, but cable management, it's free.
Yeah.
It's just free. You know what I mean? Just guys, get your cables sorted out, man. What you doing? What you playing at?
And it really makes such a difference, though.
It really does, man.
If you look at like an insane setup and there's crazy wires everywhere, it ruins the whole look. If you have a setup that has no wires, and even if it doesn't have the best equipment, just no wires, you're like, whoa, that's really clean. And I know it's hard to maintain, because if you want to unplug something later on, you're like, oh God, I have to redo everything. But if you just got to do it right the first time, and it will be easier later on. Yeah, overall, I think that the setup is, like you said, symmetrical. I think that really describes the setup.
It really does, yeah.
Everything about it is really nice. The one thing I find a little weird is the Keurig thing on the bin, the storage bin. That's weird. That's a coffee maker.
Yeah, I thought that. I thought when I was looking at the pictures earlier, I was thinking to myself, is that a coffee maker or is it a paper shredder? And then I settled on coffee maker, and I was like, kudos to that, really. It's a bit of a weird place to put it.
It is.
But I'd love to enjoy a nice coffee. If I had a coffee maker, I wouldn't leave this place. This would be like my home. You know what I mean? I'd have my coffee maker, I'd have coffee coming at me 24/7, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but great,
then you have a problem, because you'd be addicted to coffee. And,
you'd be high. You'd be high on coffee.
But with that said, let's move on to the next setup. Next setup is submitted by Ian. Now, Ian, this is one of the photos that I shouldn't have accepted. I'll be honest. I do apologize. I mean, it was clear nonetheless, but the lamp just ruined the lighting, and
a little bit overexposed.
Yeah, just a little. But taking a look, he is 18. This is his setup. And if you want to read everything, you can go over to the site. But taking a look here, it's a very confusing setup. But what are your thoughts?
Right. So I'm seeing what looks to be a beast of a computer. Now, I don't know the specs of what's inside that thing, but it looks like it's a full ATX case. So it's got a beastie motherboard in there. It's got a lot of cooling going on. So it's got a big fan to the left-hand side of the case. Looks like it's going over his graphics cards. So from that, I'm guessing that he's into his games, and he's got a nice big graphics card, nice big juicy graphics card in there. But following round the desk, I'm then following around the desk, and I'm seeing right, I've got no monitors here. I've got no monitors. And then I see this big corking old TV, Philips TV on the wall, and I'm like, right, kudos for your cable management, because that monitor is a fair bit away from that computer, and I can't really see any cables. So kudos for the cable management in this setup. I'm absolutely loving it.
It really is.
The only thing I would say is the cable going up to that goddamn light that's overexposing the photo. Get rid of that light, man. No, get like
it's ugly too.
Get what you need is like a desk lamp, but point it up at the wall, so like the wall's illuminated. You get what I mean?
Yeah, some ambient lighting sort of.
Yeah, so or maybe an LED strip to accent the back of the desk, if that's your sort of thing. That's my thing, by the way. I just thought I'd throw that out there. I'm the LED friggin' king in here. But yeah, get rid of that light, man, because it ain't cool. But yes, back to the monitor. Where's your monitors?
Yeah,
I'm assuming that big Philips TV doesn't have a good response time.
It doesn't. The whole setup doesn't make sense, because first off, the computer just looks so out of place there. It's cool. It's an insane looking rig.
It does. Yeah,
but
kudos to him for the insane PC. I mean, it looks like it's got some B specs in there.
Yeah,
Placement of it is what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, someone was saying in the chat, it's on a glass tabletop, which I mean that's a little risky for something that hefty. But also, I mean, it just doesn't make sense, because he has the right speaker next to the PC going directly into his right ear, and then he has the left speaker super close to him, and it's pointing kind of straight on at him. So he's not getting the right soundstage.
He's not getting the right soundstage.
Yeah,
Stereo imaging is totally thrown off there.
The TV is like offset. From what I see, it looks offset from him sitting at the keyboard, like it's not centered to him.
No, it's going over that sort of that sort of chest of drawers. I can't speak today. Chest of drawers. What his MacBook looks like, a 13-inch MacBook is on.
Yeah, so it makes no sense.
The monitor is, not monitor, TV is halfway over that little chest of drawers and halfway over his desk. So I'm assuming he's going to be straining his neck.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm thinking from a productivity standpoint of this setup. It's hard to put a finger on it. Do you agree with me? Do you know what I mean?
It doesn't make sense.
Productivity. It's just I'm assuming he can get a lot done with this setup. He's got a big monitor, lots of real estate. He could have his Twitter open on one side of the monitor, and his Word documents or a game or whatever he's doing open on another side of the monitor. It looks like a sort of 32-inch monitor. Obviously, I can't really tell. So he's sort of, I think he's trying to kill two birds with one stone with trying to get a bigger screen and not having to buy two monitors. Do you get what I mean? Because he's got that massive real estate, so he can just use the Windows Snap feature to snap stuff to either side.
Yeah, well,
but again, I'm assuming that monitor it looks old, man. It does. I think that monitor needs an upgrade.
Yeah, well, someone said it perfect in the chat. They said, "Awesome equipment, but terrible placement." And I think that is the best description of the setup, because literally, I mean, the rig alone just looks like beast, and he's got everything he needs, but it's just the worst possible placement. I mean, it's literally like taking your socks and putting it over your head. Like, it makes no sense at all. So I think that setup is just really confusing. And do you have anything you want to kind of wrap it up with?
Well, it's I'm gonna break it down for him. Break it down. Sort out them speakers. I want good stereo imaging. So you're sat at your desk, in the center of your desk. Your speakers want to be stereo. So you've got left and right. They want to be exactly pointing at your ears, so the sound goes straight into your ears, because tweeters are very directional. So where you point them, that's where the sound will go. Right, so you want them pointing into your ears, maybe tilted up a little bit. So sort out your speakers. Get a dual monitor setup. Get that computer on the floor, possibly next to where the MacBook Pros, that thing where the MacBook Pros, the chest of drawers. Get it maybe next to there. So they're the three things that I'll tell you to improve. But I'd say definitely massive well done on the cable management. I see underneath your computer, you've got a network switch, you've got an amplifier, and you've got your network modem. There's a lot of cables involved there. And a computer, you've got your keyboard and mouse, you've got all your speakers. I can only see one cable, which is going to that stupid light. So well done to that. Well done for your cable management. I think you've done an excellent job there. Yeah. But just apply your knowledge of cable management to your stereo imaging of your speakers, and get a couple of nice monitors to sit on that desk. And I think then once you've done all that, you'll have a really nice setup coming on.
Yeah, I really think that's the only thing. Like, his cable management is perfect, but the layout is garbage. So
it is, yeah, correct.
So work on that, and then you can really make some big changes. So
definitely.
Now this next setup. Okay, I shouldn't have accepted this photo either. I mean, it's like, it's just like, if you're going to submit to the show, God damn it, you should know not to send a picture like this. I mean, I feel bad. That's the thing. The show is to help people pimp their setup. So that means their setup isn't supposed to be the best. We're supposed to give that feedback that tells you how to bring it to the next level. Now, looking at this, it is an absolute train wreck. It looks like a wire bomb just went off, and it just it's painful. And I mean, we have a lot to say about it, but quick background. His name is Ian, I believe. He's 15 from the UK. Actually, is that 15? Yeah, 15 from the UK. And he's one of those people that said, I bought everything except for this thing and that thing. Like, great. I'm happy you paid for it. I don't really care, though. Nonetheless, this looks like I have no words for this. So, taking a look at this, Alex, what do you think about it?
Cables, goddamn freaking cables. Now, we can't get rid of them. Wireless in the world of computing, wireless really isn't an option. It's not reliable enough. This cable's going to be everywhere. You can't get rid of it, right?
Yeah.
You just can't. So, like I've said in pretty much every setup bar the last one, sort out your cables, right? But what the thing is with this setup, I'm not just seeing cables that are going to monitors, that cables that are actually in use. I'm seeing an iPhone cable tossed off to the side.
Yeah.
A load of the cables that aren't even being used. I mean, you've got 1, 2, 3, 6 drawers there. Assuming they're not full, chuck your stuff in there, man. You got a pair of scissors on the desk. What have you been doing with them? Just put them in the drawer, man.
He's got DVDs sitting there, bro. It's 2015. Put that shit away.
Yeah, look, man. I don't even know if I've got any. I've got some CDs here, but they're in the drawer, man.
They're in the drawer at least. Yeah, there you go.
I don't have them on my table. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's that. Cable manager. I'm sure when he submit that setup, I'm 100% sure that he knew that was exactly what we were going to say.
Yeah.
It's just mental. I don't think I've seen one as messy.
You know what's worse about the setup? The problem is it's not just the cables. The cables are just terrible, but I mean, everything else is still confusing about it. I feel like the layout is weird. It still looks a little shifted. I mean, yeah, sure, the left monitor isn't the same as the others. Cool. He'll fix that down the road. He's making use of what he has. I'm not going to, rip him apart for that. He's 15.
Yeah, definitely. No, definitely not.
But I feel like it's like a little shifted over. I mean, he has the pedals and the wheel and everything. He needs a good place to store that because you can't leave that there all the time.
No, I mean, how's he going to use that keyboard, man? It's like stretching around like that to type something.
Yeah, unless you're typing with the pedal and the wheel, going. I don't know what you're doing, but it's just, and the placement of the snowball I don't think is the best if you're covering up part of your display. It's just very confusing. So I think this is what we should do, Alex. Instead of going in depth, telling him what to do, we should just tell him to fix his cables and fix his layout to his liking. And once he does that, we'll take a look at it and we'll tell him what to do.
I think this is one that could be resubmit. I don't understand what was going through his brain when he submit the photo. I think what I would do, man, what I would do with this, put that computer on the floor, sort out that big mesh thing that's next to the pedals, right? Fair enough. So submit a photo with the racing steering wheel and the pedals and the arcade controller or the shifter to the side.
Yeah.
Because maybe that's his thing. Maybe that's all he does. Maybe he just loves racing games, right? So maybe that's his passion. He can leave that there, whatever. I'm not bothered about that.
Sure.
But get them monitors symmetrical. Put that computer on the floor. Tidy away that slipper. Tidy away the shoe, the mess of cables. Tidy away the scissors. Tidy away the CDs, and get everything symmetrical. Just symmetrical. I know your monitor. That's cool. Your monitors. You've got 2 monitors and then one weird 4:3 aspect ratio one. Doesn't matter. You can still get them symmetrical. I mean,
still a monitor. The
steering wheel's not even off to the steering wheel's to the side of them.
It's confusing. Very confusing. So I think if you work on that, redo everything, send it over, that would make more sense. So let's just end it there so we don't, drag it on. So the next setup is submitted by Jason, and it's crazy because Jason is also 15. I feel like everybody in this episode is 15 years old. But nonetheless, he said he's been working on his cable management, which I don't believe. And he says he plans on running the wires through the wall so they won't be seen. But this is what I have to say. First off, it doesn't really look like you tried too much with your cables. I mean, I could kind of see some attempts, but nothing too crazy. Second off, for the love of God, do not put holes through your wall just to hide the wires. Like, I get it if you're doing it for a TV or something that's going to be, it's going to be like that for a long time.
It's going to be high up on the TV or high up on the wall, or you know what I mean? Yeah.
Exactly. Don't do it for something like this just because you're like, oh, I can't figure out how to do this. Boom, punch a hole through the wall and throw them in there. Like, no, that's probably
just going to create way more mess.
Yeah. Don't do that. So, with this overall, it's an interesting setup, but I don't think you really tried with the cable management. Get an IKEA Signum. Get something for under your desk. You run the cables along the different legs of the desk. You can make it work. Trust me. We saw in Ian's setup, actually, he has almost the same desk as you, and it's flawless other than the lamp wire. I mean, really flawless. So Jason, you can do it. Trust me. Put your mind to it. Come on. Don't you know some motivational speaking, Alex? Come on.
Well, you call him on the spot here, Matt. What I would say about it is his desk is black. It's easier. I'm working with a white desk here, right? Yeah. You can't see any cables, and then obviously white and black are 2 contrasting colors, as you can probably imagine, unless you're colorblind. His desk is black, so he could get some black cable ties and cable tie them cables to the legs of the desk. Boom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's all you need to do.
No, don't go punching holes in walls, man. You're just going to make more mess.
Exactly. So, I mean, all right. So, cables aside, what are your thoughts on this setup as a whole?
Well, this dude's 15, so props to him for being 15. I didn't have a setup like that when I was 15. His computer looks like a beast. I can see a nice juicy big graphics. It's a cheeky graphics card. I'm gonna say that.
Oh god.
So he's got a nice computer. He's got some LEDs inside his computer, so he's paying attention to his accent lighting, which I do like. Maybe you could put some around the desk, shining up. Those monitors look really, really nice. You've got some sort of stand going on there. One of the monitors looks like a BenQ monitor. The one to the left, which has got his stand on it. Again, like I've said before, usually monitors nowadays come with built-in cable management. So I can see the cables behind that desk. Chuck them down the back of the spine of the monitor, the neck of the monitor. That would be awesome. I mean, your monitor in the middle doesn't have a stand at all. It looks like it's supported by the other 2 monitors or an external stand that's attached to the wall, which I do like. I love the floating monitor look. So it would look absolutely awesome if you had a nice LED strip running around the exterior back of the desk. But just sort out those cables. And one thing I would say, dude, is you can't really see it on my desk, but we've both got a pair of Astros. Here's my Astros. Mine are wireless, right? I'm not using them now because they're a bit heavy, and I'm not gaming. But you got a pair of Astros, right? Get a headphone stand. Please get a headphone stand. Do not put your headphones over your monitor.
I don't understand why people do that. I mean, literally, I made a video about how to display your headphones. You could get a banana holder. You can get command hooks, put it on your wall. I mean, you're willing to punch a hole through your wall. I'm sure you're willing to screw a nail in and hook it on there.
Exactly. I mean, I've got a really cool thing that you guys can get. I'm going to give my friend a shout out here, Jed Lilly. He won't be watching because he's not a setup type of guy, but he's got a pair of headphones. And I went round to his house the other day. He had a skull on his desk, just a skull sitting there. I was like, yo, dude, what's a skull for?
Oh.
And he was like, I bought it off eBay for like £5, which is dirt nothing, like literally nothing.
Yeah.
And he sits his headphones on it, and it's awesome. It just looks cool. It's just like aestheticness. It looks cool. It's intriguing. As soon as I walked in, boom, my eyes were straight on that skull. You know what I mean? And he said that's where I put my headphones. We'd just been out, so he had his headphones with him. I couldn't see his headphones on the actual skull themselves, but he says that's where he stands his headphones when he's not using them.
Yeah.
So,
well,
be my guest and you could put a hole in the wall, but it'd be cooler if you could spend just a minimal amount of money. And I'm not talking anything really here. It's nothing.
Exactly. Well, the mannequin heads, people use that too as headphone holders.
Exactly. So it's a simple thing. It's a simple thing.
It's up to you, yeah.
Astro included one with mine. Yours look like Astro A40s. Mine are the A50s. Mm-hmm. But Astro included a stand with mine, which is absolutely ample. So when I come back or when I finish gaming, I just stack them on the stand. They're out the way. I've got my setup here. Done.
Boom.
You know what I mean? So get those headphones moved.
Something I'm also going to be doing soon is I plan on taking a little bit more do-it-yourself with like a mannequin head about how you could actually properly like color it and things like that to make it match your setup. So that's going to be cool. That's coming soon, but that's a good idea. Like the skull, things like that. I like that. It's pretty interesting. Yeah.
So it's just about sort of you got to be creative with it. Like I was trying to think of my friend Jed's thought pattern when he went through it. He's probably thinking, where can I put my headphones? So we just had a thought, a skull. It's simple. Like I wouldn't have ever have had that thought. Like I wouldn't have ever thought to go on eBay and buy a skull.
Yeah.
To put my headphones on, you know what I mean?
Who buys a skull? You know.
Exactly. But I thought when he did it, I thought, wow, what? You know what I mean? It just sort of kicked me a little bit. I was like, this guy isn't really that bothered about his setup, and here he is with a skull for his headphones, and I was just like, props to you, man. But yeah, cable management, that's cool. I love it's not cool, you need to sort it out. But I like how you've got your computer to the side, you've got a nice windowed case. I'm digging the windowed case, so kudos for that. Looks like you got a nice chair as well. That's quite a nice chair. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's got an Xbox. He's got his Xbox, and he's got all his Xbox controllers all neatly organised on top of the Xbox One. He's got a white 360, which is quite cool. Looks like he's into optic gaming. He's got some optic gaming stickers on a little shelf up there. So this setup, it's symmetrical as well. It's symmetrical. So it's instantly, I'm liking it because it's symmetrical. But sort out them wires.
Seriously though, come on. And I mean, that's the thing, like this desk, everybody has it, but they're all figuring out how to use it. Like for instance, our next setup is submitted by Tanner, and Tanner is 14, so he's a little bit younger, and his desk is almost the same. It's just a different like wood top and things like that. And what do you think about his cable management?
Well done. Thank you. You've been blessed. Cable management, LEDs. I'm liking this guy so far. How old did you say this guy was?
14.
14. He's starting young. I like it. I like it. Right.
Well,
so,
you know what? That's the thing. If you have LEDs, it's going to look terrible unless your cable management is good.
Exactly.
So don't even bother buying them. Yeah.
Buying extra lighting is just like showing off that you have bad cable management.
Exactly. Yeah.
It just like illuminates the lights. Like, oh, look, let me turn my LEDs on and show you all my cables because they look so good. This guy's got a lamp, but he's turned it off for the purpose of the photo. So
kudos.
It's not overexposed, yay.
Yeah.
But setup wise, cable management, well done. I like it. He's got an Xbox and an HD PVR, which is a lot of cables involved with the PVR because it's component, which the component cables are a bugger to hide. Like, they're thick and horrible, but you've done a good job there. So cable management, I'm not going to bang on about that too much. You've done excellently. I can even see You've got like a power pack, and I can see the cable ties around the leg of the going around the power pack. Don't know what it's powering, but it's again a good thought. Cable ties. Get on eBay or go to your local hardware store. Buy a pack of 100 cable ties. It will set you back in the pence. Literally, it'll be nothing. So it's easy cable management. You've done a good job there. Same as the first setup we saw, where his setup was powered by a laptop. I'm assuming this is the same dealio here.
Yep.
So again, if he's obviously not doing anything too major, it looks like he's probably running Sony Vegas on the laptop or Premiere Pro. He might be making a few gameplay commentaries with his PVR, which that laptop, that machine there, looks like it would easily be able to handle what he's trying to do. So as long as he's not trying to do any hardcore gaming on that laptop, then I'm assuming that he can keep that thing. That looks cool, and as well he can take it with him when he's going portable. But I'm a little bit sort of baffled by the TV or the rather large monitor to the side with the speakers next to it. I'm assuming that's connected up to the PC or to the laptop rather. But he doesn't have a keyboard and mouse in front of it.
That's what I've honestly been staring, trying to figure out where everything is, and I'm like, oh, maybe it's on the keyboard. No, it's not on the keyboard tray. No,
it's not on the keyboard tray.
I have no idea. It's pretty confusing.
So I mean, he might be a happy chappy who's happy using his laptop's trackpad and his laptop's keyboard, and he may do all of his work on his laptop using his laptop screen. But maybe when he's watching an awesome show like Pimp My Setup, he might like to whack that on his external display and watch it as if it's like it's just a normal TV. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's watching it like a TV. Maybe he's not that bothered about working, like doing actual work on that monitor. Maybe he wants to just use that monitor to display content. Maybe he watches a lot of Netflix. I mean, I don't know his background, but so I'm not going to criticize him for not having a keyboard and mouse, because maybe he doesn't need one. There's no point in having something you don't need. Maybe it doesn't work like that. Maybe he likes his laptop and he just wants the monitor there for an external display for Netflix, YouTube, or whatever he watches online.
I mean,
he's
in
got
the
a nice
picture,
little box there with his games in. Go on.
In the picture, he's watching Pimp My Setup, so he knows what's up. He knows.
This guy, kudos.
Yeah, exactly. What was I gonna say about this? What I like about him compared to a lot of the other people we saw so far is he has a theme more so than other people, because he does have like hope, believe. He has stuff like that up. I mean, I would like to see more, but yeah, he at least has something going on. I mean, the last one, there was a little more optic that kind of showed up with his Xbox, and that was a little more prominent. But with the other setups, there hasn't really been a theme. So this has a theme. He's got like a corkboard, whiteboard, things like that. So I like that he puts more to it than just the setup, because I realize this whole episode we've only been talking about the setup in terms of the desk, not really the room as a whole. Right. So this is the first setup that I actually realized, there's more.
A lightning bolt, hasn't it? We can actually see that he's taking productivity to a different level with the whiteboard. So say if he gets a good idea for a YouTube video, obviously you can see he's got Ace of Park HD PVR there. Say if he gets an awesome idea for a video, he can jot that down on his whiteboard. Yeah. Simple idea, simple, clean. If you guys are wanting to be productive and you constantly need ideas, something I could really take something from the setup I could do with a whiteboard. Sort of inspired me to get a whiteboard. I think that'll be absolutely awesome. Just if an idea pops in my head, the amount of times I forget stuff, you know what I mean, man? Yeah. I get a video idea and I'm like, I get home and I'm like, what was the idea?
Exactly.
Should have written it on my whiteboard, but I don't have one. So very, what's cool? Very well done.
Have you seen the whiteboard paint? You just paint it on your wall and you could write on your wall.
Oh, no way. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's just a coat. It's a clear coat that goes over your wall. So you paint a certain section and you just write on it. It's pretty cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll have to look into that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's I love it. But yeah, so I mean, other than that, I don't think there's much more to say about Tanner's setup, but this next one, I think you'll have a lot to say. This is my favorite so far of the show. This is submitted by Fletcher. Fletcher has been watching for a year now. He's been on the channel for a very long time. He's a good supporter.
I can tell he takes that setup really seriously.
Oh, he really, really does. And you can tell he watches the show, things like that. He's 21. He's a computer engineering college student with a passion for tech and designing and things like that. So overall, this setup is sexy. And that's the thing. He doesn't have the most space in the world, but he makes use of every inch, but he does it while keeping the setup clean. Like, what are your thoughts about this?
Well, I'm seeing I'm seeing this desk being used a lot. It's
Seriously.
it's crop back up.
It's the same one.
But again, another point. This guy has got the same desk as a lot of you that have awful cable management, and he's absolutely nailed it.
Exactly.
So it can be done with the desk you have. So don't make excuses. Anyway, again, back to aesthetics of the room, like you mentioned in the last setup we just looked at. Up there, he's got what looks like a crossbow on the wall, man. Is that a crossbow?
I have no idea.
I assume it's some sort of weapon, and it looks
I think
pretty
it is,
insane.
though. Yeah.
He's got his posters there. Again, this room wouldn't look half as good if he didn't have the posters. He didn't have that nice tray with all his games on. He didn't have the posters up there, obviously.
Personality, yeah.
Exactly. I mean, as I talked about at the start of the episode, you probably noticed my school down there, which I've just made quite a large investment into, and it's all about aesthetics, making it look nice, not just about having it plain. And obviously having it simple is key, but you want it to look nice, like be aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
So onto his what he has in there. I'm clocking, Matt. I'm clocking a microwave.
Yep, and a mini fridge.
And a mini fridge.
Yeah.
This guy has got instant kudos from me.
That's a college student right there.
Yeah,
Everything he needs.
He's got his microwave. He's got his ready meals. He's good to go. So, I'm assuming everything is being powered. Actually, no. I'll take that back. So he's got his 3 monitors there. Which I have to mention while I'm talking about them, look insane.
And they look really high up, though.
They do. They maybe he's a tall guy.
I hope so. Otherwise, that's weird.
But yeah, they look absolutely insane. I'm digging the VESA mounts that you've got attached at the back of them onto that monitor arm. That looks absolutely awesome, dude. Kudos for that. Computer again, Windows side panel. Absolutely killing it. He's got his computer turned to the side to hide a lot of his cables. That's another tip. Turn your computer to the side. It covers more of a wall, so you can hide cables behind that thing.
Boom.
And then have them up going up a tube, or maybe some cable trunking up the side of your wall. So yeah, if you guys have got cables to hide, turn your computer to the side. Be creative with it. That's what setup's all about. Obviously, other side, he's got he likes his gaming, so he's got his PS3 cables going up the wall to his TV. Now this would be me being picky. He's put all his cables together, but it'd be awesome if you could put a little channel in that wall. Or a bit of cable trunking and painted the same colour as the wall, and get that little strip of cables going up to the TV in the wall or in some trunking, just to hide that black line. And I think you'll find that will make it look that much better.
Yeah.
He's got his nail in his wall for his headphones. I'm liking that. His headphones are nice and suspended up there next to the poster. He's got a tablet and a laptop, which are strategically placed on his desk. Can't speak again.
Having trouble with words.
So yeah, he's obviously very productive. He's got a lot of equipment. He's got a laptop. He's got a tablet. He's got his 3 displays, mouse and keyboard, PS3, a TV there, and yet his desk isn't cluttered. I'm seeing setups today with just a computer and 2 screens, and there's cables everywhere. This guy's got everything, and there's no cables.
Yeah.
It's just
it blows
wow.
your mind. Yeah,
it does. It really does.
It's crazy. And quickly before I forget, someone said in the chat that the desk is the Walker Edison Sereno 3-piece corner desk. So that's the desk that everybody's rocking, including
People really
Fletcher.
be liking that desk, don't they?
Yeah.
To be fair, I do quite like it.
Well, I mean, I like it if it's done right, like Fletcher did. I mean, oh God, this room is insane. I get it. He's a college student. He literally has everything: a printer, mini fridge, microwave, TV, triple monitors, laptop, everything he needs, including shelves that show everything off. He has his personality in the posters. He has everything, and it's super clean, well organized, and done right. This is the perfect setup.
100% agree. 100% agree. And he's even got the step further. He's even gone a step. He's got his amazing setup, and even to make it look that little bit more aesthetically pleasing, he's got his 3 monitors there, and he's gone for a triple wallpaper display. So usually these displays, these wallpapers are sort of, I don't know, sort of 4K, 5K, and you can stretch them across your entire monitor, and it just looks insane. So if you've got 2 or 3 monitors, try it out and put one background image, get a massive background image, and put it along all 3 of your monitors. there's a little bit of software called Display Fusion. That's what you need to do it. So get this, it's free. So type it into Google, Display Fusion, and with that software you can get any image, you need a large image so it doesn't obviously get pixelated, and you can span that image across 3 monitors. And trust me, guys, I've got one set up now, but I've got loads of windows open around my triple monitor display. But when your windows are minimized, it looks insane. Like if you've got 1 or 2 monitors, sorry, if you've got 2 or 3 monitors, it doesn't work with one. If you've got 2 or 3 monitors, give it a go. Give it a go. Trust me. I just love how he's gone that extra mile to do that and just make it look that much more aesthetically pleasing when all his windows are minimized over there on his computer. I'm really digging this setup. He's done an absolutely outstanding job. He's killed it.
Yeah. So
absolutely killed it.
Now let's wrap it up with the final setup submitted by Benji. And Benji, you know what? Let's play a little game because this is the last setup of the show. We might as well play a little game. How old do you think Benji is? Based off, what he's got going on, what other ages we heard today. If you had to put your power together in your mind, what number would you come up with?
I've got a number in my head, Matt. I've got a number in my head.
It's probably wrong, but you go for it.
Now you're saying that, I think I'm going to come across being really rude, and I'm not a rude person, but I'm going to say 14.
Nope. He is 13.
Oh, I was close. Okay.
Yeah. I thought I didn't know if you were going to go like super old or super young, but
I thought you were going to say like 21, and I was just be like, oh my God, I've just called him a 13-year-old.
Yeah, no, he's 13, and let's see, he's from California. He's been binge watching Pimp My Setup. That's a good idea. I like that.
Not yet.
And he also said he paid for everything on his setup, which I don't know why people feel the need to say that. Like, if it's your setup, fine, we're good. Just, you paid for it.
That's your setup, man.
Yeah. There's always, every episode, there's a debate in the comments like, oh my God, how do these little kids buy everything? Blah, blah, blah.
I mean, when we did when I answered a few questions to start with at the start of the show that people submit on Twitter, I saw one. Obviously, we didn't have time to answer because we wanted to get on with the show. But I saw a question crop up, and it sort of got my mind racing. And he said to me, how do you react to people that say that your parents have bought all your stuff? And quite frankly, I don't react at all. It doesn't affect me at all because I know the truth, and I know that I saved up with everything.
So what does it matter?
From the age of 13, I had a job and I saved up for everything. Obviously, if your parents are nice to buy you stuff for Christmas, you might get a monitor for Christmas. One of my monitors I got for Christmas. I'll put that out there. Great, cool. Who gives a shit? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your setup is your setup. Whatever. It doesn't matter who paid for it.
Yeah.
It's the setup.
Because guess what? At the end of the day, you're the one that's sitting in the chair in front of the setup.
You want to be proud of it.
Yeah, exactly. So who cares? But yeah, so speaking of that, Benji, that's fine. We get it. You paid for it. We don't doubt that in any way. But taking a look, this is the definition of theme. I mean, you could tell he likes Manchester United, and he did it. He just let it go through the whole setup. I honestly would like to see even more. I'm not going to lie. Like, you start to do it, go even crazier. Put some other stuff in your setup. But this setup, wire management is almost perfect. I just don't understand like the way he did the wire coming out of the monitor. He did it in the most awkward possible way. Like
it's like the worst way you could do that.
Yeah. You really made it look that much worse than it had to, You could still, you call it wire trunking, I call it wire mold. You could still do that. You could get that, but why are you doing it like that? I don't.
It's going vertically across the wall. What you need to do there, man? It would look so much better even if you didn't have any trunking and you did it right now. Cables go straight down from under the ASUS sign from the monitor to the desk, and then across behind the desk down to the PC. And then you've probably eliminated what looks to be like half a meter of cable there that's showing on the wall, to about 10 or 15 centimeters. It just goes down to the desk. And then at a later date, you can get some trunking if you want. But that's step one. Get it going straight down to the desk and across the desk. Now, I appreciate you may not have, the cables may not be long enough. That's why you might be doing that. So for now, until you can buy some longer cables, I mean, cables are dirt cheap nowadays. You can buy some longer cables.
Yep.
But for now, put that computer underneath the desk. It looks like quite a thin computer, but I'm loving the windowed side panel. I'm not saying turn it that way. I'm saying keep it that way because obviously I like that you've got it that way so you can see the internals of your computer. You may have built it yourself and you're quite proud of it. So keep it that way, but put it under the desk. You know what I mean? If the cables aren't long enough.
Exactly.
But as you mentioned, Manchester United and aesthetics of the room. He's got a football up on the wall there. He has got a football mug. It looks like he's got various trophies. I'm assuming he's in maybe a football team, his local football team, and he's won a few medals. They're always good to display. They keep you motivated and keep you going strong. Or you've always got something to look at and think, I won those medals. Let's carry on, see if we can get to the next stage. So obviously, massive fan of Manchester United. There he's got his posters. Symmetrical as well. He's got a poster right above his monitor, bang, central in the middle, symmetrical poster.
You know what the problem is though? I think they need to be framed because they're like rippled and you see the glare. If they were framed, it would look so nice. You
can pick up a frame now for, again, the tips that me and Matt have given you guys in this video. They've all been things that are fairly cheap and easy to accomplish. So we're not going to say to you guys, go out and buy a triple monitor display and a new computer, because it's not going to help anyone, is it? We want to give you guys things that you guys could easily save up for. So you guys can get some picture frames from. I keep mentioning eBay, but eBay's great, man.
Yeah, seriously,
it is. You can get things dirt cheap on that website. Like, I'm not talking secondhand things. Like, you can get new things. You can get a picture frame for £5.
Yeah,
like,
really.
Just do it. It would make it look like so much more professional, clean.
And even frame the jersey too. You could do that.
Oh man, that would look dapper. That would look professional as that.
For sure.
I mean, I'm happy that he's got it up on the wall, but if it was framed as well, wow.
It would look even more important than it does now.
Definitely.
Actually, I wanted to ask you, what are your thoughts on all the wireless peripherals that he has? Because a lot of people don't really like it. They don't like that, the keyboard's wireless. They don't like the mouse wireless. It looks empty. It doesn't even look like everything's connected. But, I mean, I think that comes down to personal preference. But do you think it looks good, or what do you think?
If I did a video over on my technology channel, you can type in MBGTHD, or go over to my main channel and you can see my technology channel in the other channels. But I did a video on there about if you've got like a wired mouse or keyboard. Like, I've got the Naos 700 and the Naos 7000 mouse and the Razer keyboard here. Both of them wired peripherals. I've got a solid wood desk, so what I did was I drilled a hole straight through. I did a full tutorial on my technology channel, but I drilled a hole through the desk just big enough to fit 2 USB cables through, and then plunked the cables through there, and now it looks like I've got a wireless mouse and keyboard. Like, honestly, you can't see any wires trailing off behind the monitors or wherever, and that's one way to sort of hide like a wireless mouse and keyboard's cables. But obviously, other than that, you can go fully wireless, which I'm totally down and cool with. But it depends what you're doing on your computer. Like in this setup, for instance, it looks like he's got a nice computer. He could potentially be doing some gaming here. I can't see any games discs, or he might have Steam installed on there. I can't really see on his application list. I think I can see Steam. I think I can see a cheeky bit of Steam there. So maybe he's playing a few games. Maybe he's not an avid gamer. Maybe he's just like a casual gamer and he's not really bothered. But if he's hardcore gaming, if you are hardcore gaming, then I'd really recommend investing in a wired keyboard and mouse. God, I can't speak today. Just to get that response time that little bit better, because it gives you a massive advantage. But if you're just web browsing and you like to watch videos online, YouTube, you enjoy the live streams here that me and Matt are doing, then there's no need to go out and buy a wide keyboard and mouse. But if you're doing something that needs a responsive work, then obviously I would recommend it. I'm assuming you would think the same thing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a good setup. I don't mind wireless. My mouse is wireless. It's the MX Revolution, whatever, from Logitech. So I like it.
If you really need a wireless mouse, you get the Logitech Performance MX.
Yeah.
That is the go-to wireless mouse.
Exactly. Yeah. This thing's amazing. I love it.
It really is.
But yeah, so with that said, this is the part of the show where we hurt people's feelings because we give them their scores and we talk about who won, because every episode, the top 2 highest scoring setups win, quote unquote, for that episode. So here we go. First setup was submitted by Charlie. Charlie got a 54. Shane got a 63. Ian got a 40. Ian got a 29. Jason got a 56.
56, yeah.
Yeah. Tanner got a 70.
70 on Tanner, yeah.
Fletcher got an 85, and Benji got a 75, which means winner would be Fletcher with Benji right behind him. So bada bing, bada boom. That is it. So insane.
Oh no, great. Damn, son.
That's what you were doing the whole time, trying to find the sound effect.
Trying to get my soundboard up.
But with that, guys, thank you so much for watching. Alex, thanks so much for coming on, man. I'm gonna have to get you back on again. But yeah, with that said, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the Flippity Flop.
Thanks for watching this episode of Pimp My Setup. If you enjoyed the episode, be sure to like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe. Follow at Pimp My Setup on Twitter for the latest info about the show. And check out swashin.tv/schedule to know when we'll be live again. Stay up to date with Matt Philly by following him on Twitter at Matt Philly. And until next time, we'll catch you on the Flippity Flop.